Today I'm making tortillas with the spinach, which I've never actually done before, so I wanted to give it a go. Leftover steamed potatoes from the fridge, mashing them up with my little hand masher that we got at the antique store last summer. It is so good. However, the new ones they make now are not as sharp. I'm not sure why. Look at that thing. It's beautiful, and it mashes garbanzo beans really, really well. From here, I'm going to use my hands and mash in that steamed spinach with the potatoes and the white spelt that I get at the co-op. And like all the other tortillas, wraps, and flatbreads that you guys seen me make, I'm doing the same thing here. Really just getting to know the flour in my hands. I'm just going to mush it, mush it, mush it, mush it. And then I'm going to put it on my workbench. Chuck in a bit more spelt. I don't have a recipe for this. This is something that it's going to depend on the temperature in your house, how wet your spinach is, how wet your potatoes are, and you're just going to have to feel it as you go to get a dough that you can roll out into a tortilla without it being a sticky mess. On to my workbench where I am the most comfortable working. I'm going to take all of the potatoes and the spinach and the flour and just work it off my hands right onto the bench, and I'm going to mush it all together so that it's a wonderful rollable dough. Toss down a little more flour. I'm just going to use a little bit as I go. I don't want to overdo it. I don't want really dry dough, but I don't want a really wet dough. Continue to work a little more of my spelt in. Now I use mostly white spelt for this. However, the wholemeal spelt works also, but it is a thicker tortilla, flatbread, or wrap. That's the one thing. It is a little bit thicker. So I'm just going to continue to get the rest of it off my hands right onto the bench. I'm going to use all of that up. Spelt is expensive. I don't want to waste not even a little bit of it. So I'm just going to do this until it's all on the bench and then continue rolling my dough. Look at that dough. It's exactly where I want it to be. It's not too sticky. It's not too dry. It's fantastic. Look at those balls. They're 50 grams each. That's perfect for my griddle. Not too sticky. Not too dry. I'm still going to dump it in some flour, and I'm going to let this set up for about 30 minutes under the bowl or under a cover because I don't want it to get too dried out. I just want it to absorb the flour as needed. And look at that. We have 6 beautiful spheres. They're not quite balls. They're kind of pressed down a little bit. Now, I'm just going to let them set up for about 30 minutes. Make sure, though, you cover them up. They can sit on top of each other, that's fine, but do cover them up. The spinach absorbed more spelt, so I'm going to coat in more flour before I roll it out. If you do it thicker, it will take a little longer to cook on the cast iron, and thinner, it will cook a little bit faster. I like to roll my tortillas from the inside out. I don't really care if it's a perfect round circle. I just don't want it to be too thin in the center and then too chunky on the outside because I want it to cook evenly. A little more spelt on my bench, but not too much. I want it to be kind of nice and soft when we're rolling it, when we're cooking it. And unfortunately, I did not shoot footage of me cooking it in a cast iron skillet. So I'm going to take you to the next shot where it's done. And here they are done because, again, I forgot to shoot the footage of me cooking it on a cast iron. Basically, I just put it on a cast iron, and when it's done on one side, I flip it to the other side. To see how I do that, check out Mashed Potato Makeover. That's in the show notes. Meanwhile, I'm just going to put my paper down, and then my tortillas, and then I'm going to cover it with more paper and a cake pan on the top. And that's it, guys. I'm Ivy the Happy Whisk. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you right here next time on YouTube.